So yeah, I do end up having to feed Simba his kibbles. Of course, I hadn't done anything the entire day except, and I haven't left my home at all until right now, which is to go feed Simba his kibbles. Um, of course, by this, I did end up leaving at 9:36 p.m., heading straight to Simba, Abuela's residence, where Simba's located. And yeah, and again, if you want to know why it is that I don't have Simba over with my parents' residence, is because my parents want to have him in the Abuela's residence as sort of a guard dog. Um, I believe that's what my parents want Simba for, to guard the other property. Um, and make sure that no one's trying to jump over and trying to steal anything or whatever. And Simba is sort of like the guard dog type. And yeah, if it were up to me, I'd bring Simba over to my parents' residence and have him there. And we do have a space there too, so it's not like we don't have space there. We have a property right next door where we could hold him in a sort of like grassy, patchy area. I haven't showed it to you yet, but he could hang around there. Um, and just chill, but again, my parents wanted to have Simba with with my with the Abuela's residence, and yeah, um, of course, like I mentioned before, Simba does tend to rebel a lot, considerably a lot, and he does end up scratching a lot, and I greatly believe that the reason why that is because he wants his freedom, he wants to be free, and I don't know what to do in those regards. The only thing I can do is just speed up the process in which to have Simba sent over to the States. Either that or, bring him to a safer area, I suppose. Or walk Simba, but in the back desert during the day, and bring him out for walks in the in the back desert, not in the urbanized town, because he would get bitten by other dogs, and I really don't want that. And even then, I'd still be taking a large risk. But yeah, the best case scenario would really be to take Simba to the States, America, have him shipped over there. Or if I ended up moving to, I don't know, an isolated place where he has lots of places, a large area to run in, I suppose. I guess you could have him free and have him, there could be an argument for that. But yeah, heading over to feed Simba. So yeah. down. Calm down, dog. Okay? Calm down. Oh yeah, I did forget. I forgot to mention that I also get some pambazos. So this is the little area where I get my little pambazos and stuff. Um, they're like Mexican sandwiches and drenched with tomato sauce and stuff. Yeah, I mean they cost like 30 pesos per each Mexican sandwich. Um, well, Mexican sandwich drenched in tomato sauce, but yeah, they taste great and stuff. Um, but yeah, I did have them ordered directly to my abuela's residence. It's so that I don't end up pressuring them, and it gives them time to prepare it and everything. Of course, I do give Simba his kibbles. And again, Simba with his rebellious nature, he's really hard to control. Again, he wants his freedom. The only thing I could really do is, send him to America, or move to private property in the middle of nowhere so they could just run around for free, because I cannot trust the urbanized areas. I cannot trust Venezuela's. I can't trust Tequisquiapan. I can't trust anywhere. Walking a dog with a leash is just not safe. The best thing you could do for a dog, if it is that you want to have him free, is to have him free 100%, because that's the only way you're going to be able. The dogs are going to be able to either fight back or just run away. And having a leash kind of defeats the entire point, because other dogs who are not leashed will attack Simba, and having him on a leash wouldn't really help him. What you want is for him to be able to run away, and go to safety and stuff. Again, in theory, I could discipline Simba, I suppose, so that he doesn't misbehave and act rebellious. But again, it's kind of hard for me to do that. Not hard in it itself. It's possible. I mean hard as in like hard emotionally, because effectively I'd be teaching him that he would get. I'd be teaching him to not be free, which is contradictive. I mean, is that really what I'm disciplining him for? So that he doesn't want to be free? It's it's one of those things where I think lots of people who have pets have to decide. I mean, do they want to have them as house pets, or do they want them to be free range pets? Um, and of course, some people do have a hybrid version of it. But in this case, I can't have them either free range or hybrid. Again, because of safety reasons regarding to other dogs. So it really forces me to have him as a house pet, which I wouldn't want him to be. I want him to be free range. And again, he would be able to have that free range ability back in America with my parents, and the large green pastures of acres where he could run away at his heart's content. And yeah, I guess I have to really speed up that process in which he does get his papers, and goes back to the States and stuff. Um,
Stop.
I do end up using this blue bottle. I think I've mentioned it in the previous post. I don't know if I have videos, but the blue bottle acts as sort of a placebo. So Simba thinks that it's like a bucket of water, and that I would spray water on him or whatever. But obviously I don't do it. It just creates makes him believe it is, but it isn't. Um, uh, I do plan to use another method, which is like a spray bottle. So it's like the cat method. Have you ever seen those methods where you discipline a cat? You use like a water spray bottle. It's a light spray and stuff. And I was thinking, that maybe I could use that technique. I had
Bro, okay, I
seen
turned your
some
light back to
videos
the
where
wild.
people like
What can I
discipline
do?
their cats. Using a light spray and stuff, just to discourage
Okay, I'll try to figure out how to speed up
their
the,
cat to do anything. And in theory, it should work with Simba as well. A spray bottle could work. It would be, it wouldn't hurt him or anything. It's just a splash of water, and just to discourage him to be rebellious. But again, he's rebelling because he generally wants to be free. He sees his mom and grandma are free, and he doesn't understand why he can't be free. And I don't know how to explain it to him. Even if I did, brought him out and then he got bit, he wouldn't really learn because he would just think that that's normal when it's not. Of course, you're seeing it's dark here. So it's because I have Simba on my lap and I'm talking to him, trying to, calm him down. Simba does calm down relatively well once you sit down and pet him and stuff. He only gets really rebellious
You haven't done anything
when I
wrong.
come in and when I come out,
Well, you
because
have been getting a bit aggressive.
he's really stressed out that he can't be free, and
You just want your freedom.
in part as well he wants to be with me, unfortunately I can't, and it's unfortunate. I sort of sweet talk Simba to calm down.
Look, I wish I could do something about it. Well, actually, I can do something. I'll try to figure out how to get them. Okay. Just calm down. Okay, so just sit down here. Just relax. Oh, I gotta head out, Simba. Sorry. Sí, más bien. Meter así. Porque sí. ¿Cuánto sería?
60.
Sí. 60 pesos. Sí, 60 pesos. Ok. Que tengan buenas noches.
Gracias.
So yeah, that was the order of pambazos that I just got from the lady there. But yeah, it was 60 pesos, and so yeah. And again, the blue washer, I can't remember if it was washer fluid or a hydro lavadora. It's a placebo for Simba to believe it's water, or that I might,
Simba, calm down.
supposedly splash on him, but I don't. It just creates the illusion for Simba to think that. But it's like a way for him to discipline him. But yeah, I don't actually splash him or anything like that. But it's somewhat similar. I plan to use the washer. No, not washer. The spray bottle method, the cat version, and in this case, it'd be like a spray, like a spray. I already mentioned it like just recently about it, but yeah. Again, it's the bucket is like it's creating the assumption that Simba is gonna think that I'll splash him some water, but I actually don't. But yeah.
Simba. Calm down, Simba. What do you say? Bye, Simba. Bye. Right. Yeah, so you see me coming over here, and it's to check the electrical meter. We suspect that someone's stealing electricity from our home, and the electrical meter is right here. It might or might not show up in the camera, but it's right there. Electrical meter, um, right where my flashlight's pointing to. But yeah, we think that someone is stealing electricity from us, and that's something very common in Mexico, where people steal. And I'm just checking to see if the meter is still running, even despite me turning off everything. Um, but yeah, after that, I do end up. Oh, I just sneezed there. But yeah. From there, I head over to back home. And again, it's a speculation. We're not sure if someone has or hasn't been stealing us. We think that they are because our electricity bill is coming out higher than normal, and we're suspecting that it must be someone stealing and stuff. But it's a suspicion. It's a speculation. We don't know. But yeah.
It's doing doggy.
course, we do end up arriving. Well, I end up arriving at 10:30 ish, 10:40 p.m. and stuff. And yeah, I do plan to not go in the night anymore because, well, yeah, it's the night. And yeah, I mean, the only time I might go travel in the night would be either cell group or with my uncle Lalo. I believe that's the only time. Or if I go travel somewhere to Mexico City and I don't make it back on time, but that's rare.